Just a little update on our patch here for the garden. We have our fence going up soon, and we had our tarp on for many months. I want to say at least 5 months. And you can see it is all mud now. Oh, hey, pumpkin. And the guy who helps us with our bush hogging, he's gonna come and till all this up for me. So that's exciting. Sabrina, are you having fun? Having fun in there? Ah, you guys are gonna be stained orange. So yesterday we tilled this. Oh, there they go. And it looks good. We're still gonna level it out. And now that I look at it, it's definitely smaller area than I don't want to say than I thought it was gonna be, but I guess I could have made it bigger. But this year, because we are expecting our baby boy, I know that we are gonna be just busy, so it's okay to have it a little bit smaller this year. Maybe we'll do another big one the following summer. Oh goodness, pumpkin. Okay. Once the ground was leveled out again, we decided to hire some help for the garden fence, and I have this project posted over on my Instagram if you are curious about the details of how that went. And it did take a little while. Again, details over there on Instagram. But once we were finished and ready to plant, we had to re-till the ground again. So this was just a rented tiller, and we got a smaller one. It was not heavy enough, and that was a boy's idea of trying to like weigh it down. Didn't work. I had to go back and get a bigger tiller, and that really helped to break up the ground and allow us to get ready for planting the seeds. We're in the garden today trying to get this done. We've got our seeds, and then we have some seedlings, so we're just placing things before we actually put it out. I really don't need more tomatoes than what I got.
Okay.
You can space the tomatoes out a little bit more.
Righty.
Good. Yes.
Oh, it's
exciting. I've got to think about it.
You guys work so well
Grow. And this is pickling cucumbers. Thankfully, I had my mom hang out all afternoon to help me get all of the plants in the ground. And I really needed it because being so pregnant, gosh, everything is a little bit harder. So we just kind of spaced it out this way to where my mom would put some plants in and I would dig the holes, and then we would switch it up. But I decided to really space things out just from previous years of planting gardens. Obviously not on this property, but just when I was living with my mom. I tended to overcrowd things, and I think spacing it out was really a great success because it gave the plants room to get bigger and honestly produce even more because nothing was choked out by a neighboring plant. I like to plant my herbs into barrels, just keep them a bit more contained because they can get a little bit wild sometimes. And then also I wanted to mention for the in-ground garden, what I did was originally I had this idea I was going to have the whole top layer covered in compost, but didn't have the time or finances for that. So with each individual plant, dug a hole, added a nice handful of compost just to give it a little bit of that extra nutrients since we have so much red clay here, and that made a really big difference. And I'll probably do the same thing next year. We're doing some beets. This is what a beet seed looks like. Okay.
Very light.
Of these. I'll show you what the seeds look like. Look at that. Like little worms. So let me even this out. Let's see. I'm just gonna lightly cover everything. So I spent a couple more days just putting in a plant here or there, but as you can see, everything was nicely spaced out. The closest things together were peppers, and I knew those plants just didn't get too big. And the garden went from this to that, and it was a very rewarding first year. Honestly, I think it could have been even better, but with that summer heat and being so pregnant, I was starting to lose my motivation to get out there every single day. And it's so much work to maintain a garden. I knew that going into it, but I just still was going to give it my best shot. I look forward to another year where I can have more energy to preserve a bit more. Sweating like a pig. Then this was just a few days before giving birth. I was trying to keep up with watering the squashes and the melons, but things didn't last too long. So in this raised bed, I have some of these calendula, which I actually just harvested a bunch of them yesterday, so there isn't really anything pretty in here right now, but I planted these from seed. I also have a few beets left back in there. Planted a little patch of beets, and then I did a rogue squash. I have all of my black beans growing right here, and I have a kitty in my dying echinacea. You don't belong in there. The cats follow me in here sometimes. Anyways, then in this raised bed, it was honestly a total flop. Nothing really is growing in here except for maybe a carrot, some weeds, and I'm pretty sure there's like a bee's nest down in there, so I am not really sure what I'm going to do about that. And in this raised bed, I have sweet potatoes, and again, kind of just letting that go. Pumpkin, we don't go potty in these beds. Usually the cats are not in the garden, but they followed me in. I don't think so. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Kitty cam, go on. So on this row, I planted all peppers and tomatoes. These were poblano peppers that I planted, and they're my favorite. If you're not familiar with them, they're not very spicy at all. These huge bushels of basil, and I'm going to be harvesting that to dry it out. I have my viney plants, and I'm really glad I spaced them out as well as I did, because you can see how much they've overtaken this area, which is totally fine. So I have some buttercup squash, some kabocha squash. I have one that looks really nice over here, actually. Pretty proud of this one. I'm dealing with squash bugs like crazy bad, and I actually don't know what to do, but there's a beautiful kabocha squash, and I've got a lot of butternut squashes in here as well. So those I look forward to harvesting once I deliver this baby. I did just want to share this picture of harvesting a butternut squash with my sweet baby boy, because it really was just a little dream come true for me. And that will be really nice. I've also got some cantaloupe and some watermelons somewhere in there, and I'm hoping that they will be able to survive. Honestly, I don't water this garden that much. I think in the last week I really slowed down, but it is what it is. If you've made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you for hanging out with me today and watching my little garden project. Much better from last year. If you've been around since then, we have a great improvement. And as I'm editing this and watching these clips, I realized I need to go check on my black beans out there, because I've been in bed postpartum for quite some time and really abandoned the garden since then. So anyways, I hope you stay tuned for future videos to come. I'm really excited about some more of the videos that I have coming out soon. So until then, I hope to see you in the comments, and talk soon. Bye.